For people who grew up in multicultural or international societies, identity can feel complex or even fragmented. But I hope that everyone here knows that it is in this complexity that you hold power. It is what connects one's past to the present, which can guide us looking forward into the future. Good morning, everyone. My name is Cindy. I'm 17 years old, and I'm currently in IB1. Today, I'm going to share a story about how the international experience has really shaped my perspective on the world and how social media played a role in all of this. The first time that I arrived in Lisbon, Portugal was in January of 2015. Upon this initial contact with the Western culture and the slower pace of the Mediterranean way of life, I was able to bring back pieces of it back to my grandparents and friends in Shanghai. Whereas me and my sister would literally spend hours on the beach next to our house, picking out the most beautiful seashells to bring back crushed pieces of the Atlantic Ocean to show my grandparents who had never been abroad. Back in school in mainland China, I was also able to share these new insights that I had gained from this whole other world. For example, I loved the curiosity oozing out of my friends when they would ask questions such as, "So is everyone in Portugal blonde and blue-eyed?" And I would just smile to myself and share what I had learned. No, not all, but some. I was able to bring back this different perspective and share these new ideas that I had gained and how different it actually seemed from the movies and the books. Taking back to another time where I myself was a curious kid, and I would ask my parents questions such as, if the weather is already this warm during the wintertime, does it mean that it'll reach, say, upwards of 50 degrees whenever we actually reach winter? And very thankfully, it doesn't. Having moved permanently to Portugal was another different experience. It was a brand new chapter in our lives, as when first grade came around, I was faced with a new dilemma. None of my Portuguese classmates spoke English. Therefore, Type A Cindy very ambitiously set out to learn Portuguese, which I'm proud to announce that I was able to accomplish within 2 months' time. During this time, my Portuguese classmates also had so many questions about what life was actually like in China, and communication was a big part of my journey. Being able to learn Portuguese and English at the same time to communicate with them really made me feel like I was able to share my perspectives and feel heard. During this time, some of my parents' acquaintances who were also Chinese living in Portugal would often ask me and my sister, "So, do you guys ever get bullied in school or harassed for being Asian, nerdy, less sporty, or straight up not as conventionally attractive or cute as all of my white friends?" And I'm very privileged to be able to say, no, that's not an issue that's ever affected me because I am ethnically Asian. I was born in Shanghai, China, and I'm very proud of my heritage. I wasn't less sporty because I would participate in so many extracurricular events that being friends with the cooler, older kids kind of gave me a sense of protection and boosted my self-esteem. I wasn't scared of or worried about getting called nerdy because I loved when my friends would comment and say, "Wow, you're like crazy smart in second grade math." All of this really shaped who I am and my individuality and gave me a sense of self. Now, to stray a little bit from the topic of internationalization, I wanted to weave into current social trends that shape our day-to-day lives. As previously stated, fitting in is quite a superficial term, as I believe that everyone should hold their uniqueness and stand tall. One of the main contradictors to my view are the rising negative impacts of social media, especially on teenagers. So here is my story. I got my first phone the summer before 7th grade, a little bit later than most of my friends, and I downloaded Instagram not long after. There, I'd seen my friends adhere to this trend of posting every single day for 365 days straight, and decided, why not? To me, the curation of creating this digital feed was an opportunity to remember and relive these memories, where I could also kind of reflect and replace the need for a physical diary. Therefore, by keeping track of all the little moments in my life, I was really able to live every moment to the absolute fullest. As gratifying as it is to see likes and comments from my friends pour in, it's even better when I get messages from people who I might not know so well personally, ask about a specific art exhibition that I went to or recipe or craft that I tried, and I was able to connect with them and share my insights. I would comment on how, if I were to repeat this experience, what I would have done differently. Maybe I would have arrived to the museum 20 minutes earlier to not have to stay as long in line, or the recipe that I tried turned out great. However, I might have added more sugar or more butter. The interconnected discipline of art is shaped by societal understanding, as it affects not only the art that is created, but the way that it is interpreted. I'm beyond grateful to have friends who accept me for exactly who I am, for family members who grant me the agency to act upon what I believe to be my best interests, as well as teachers who, in the dozen schools that I've attended throughout the years, more often than not, trust my potential more so than myself. But most prominently, certainly not the least, myself, for allowing me to experience every moment and live it to the fullest. To me, my little silly time pass of curating a social media page has been incredibly fulfilling, and I hope that more people felt this way about digital tools, such as Instagram. Circling back to the original essay topic, fitting in isn't about changing who you are or your interest in order to belong to a certain group. It's about finding the right crowd where you can learn from each other and grow as individuals. Again, I'm beyond grateful to have found mine. Thank you.